Yeah. What's everybody fighting for? Why can't people help people? That's the question.
Oh my gosh, it's people helping people!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to People Helping People. And I am super excited for today's show for multiple reasons. One of which, we have amazing coffee with us today, so we're going to take our daily sip here. That one's for you, Pops. We're keeping the coffee tradition alive. And for anybody that's joining us today, welcome. Again, we have an incredible episode for you. It's going to be very fruitful, very insightful, and I am very excited to get things rolling. If you guys joined our stream yesterday, we're learning together. We are trying new things, and we are failing, and we are learning. And that's what it's all about. So we had a segment of time where there was zero audio whatsoever. I basically did a live studio tour. So the studio being my home, I have this setup, which is like the newscaster setup. We've got a sit-down loungy podcast area. And then we have the music studio, and we have an art studio as well. So this house is just full of studios. And we learn some lessons. And that's the beauty of the show, is allowing people to see someone fail and learn. And I hope that everybody out there is trying new things, embarking on new endeavors, taking on challenges. And you may not be failing in the public eye, but as long as you're taking those, I don't even like calling them failures, to be honest. But, I just hope that everybody's taking on some new challenges and learning new things. And I just want to go ahead and acknowledge the people that are jumping in here right now. Bob LaChance, what a cool name. He says, hello, all. What's up? Welcome into People Helping People. Cody Leitner, no way. Gosh, what's up, brother? I haven't seen you in years. Man, Cody Leitner and I were best friends back in high school, and he found us. He found People Helping People. He says, looking sexy, babe. Thanks, man. If you can't see, I'm getting a little red in the face over here. I appreciate you guys joining the stream. And prior to introducing our guest, we need to go ahead and show some love to our sponsors. They are people that are riding with us. They are riding and enjoying being a part of People Helping People, and we are so proud to be representing what they are, who they are, and what they represent, because they are the epitome of people helping people. So let's jump right into that. The first one that we have here is called carsfortucson.org. Carsfortucson.org is really doing God's work out here. They're helping people that may be in financial crisis. And so, let's get into it. One car repair can create a powerful ripple effect. For a low-income family struggling with housing, a reliable vehicle means they can hold on to their job, access childcare, and avoid spiraling into homelessness. Cars for Tucson understands this. They exist to provide affordable, sometimes free, critical car repairs to ensure these families stay connected to their livelihoods in their homes. They also have the goal of giving vehicles away. So the fact that this is in the Tucson area, and, nationally, you can go to carsfortucson.org, be a part of the positive ripple effect. Your donation helps prevent homelessness, one car or one repair at a time. Again, that's carsfortucson.org. And we are so proud to have you as a sponsor and appreciate what you guys are doing for the community out there. And we do have one more sponsorship for you guys before we go ahead and introduce our guest. So let's dive into that. This episode of People Helping People Live is sponsored by T-Town Boxing, Tucson's home for boxing, kickboxing, and recovery classes for all ages. T-Town Boxing isn't just a gym. It's a community where you can build confidence, discipline, lifelong skills, whether you're stepping into the ring for the first time or sharpening your techniques. From kids to adults, beginners to experienced fighters, T-Town Boxing offers a space to grow, train, and challenge yourself. So, if you're ready to push your limits and join an amazing community, reach out to T-Town Boxing on Instagram at instagram.com/T-Town Boxing or their website, boxingtucson.com. Again, instagram.com/T-Town Boxing or their website, boxingtucson.com. Back to the show. Jake over there at T-Town Boxing, my brother, man, is he a good trainer. And I've been there for a while now, and I love that place, a great community. And we are proud to be representing T-Town Boxing. Cody Leitner, love you too, bro. Thanks for tuning in, man. Ben K, People Helping People, looking forward to a great show. That's for you. Me too. Let's learn together. This is going to be a fantastic show. And this shirt right here, Give Yourself Grace, that is from Ben K. He owns a t-shirt press company, and this is what this show is all about. If you need merchandise, he ships globally. If you need merchandise, go to pennyandbennyllc.com and go ahead and show him some love. He's got great stuff over there. But without further ado, I don't want to waste any more time before we get to the part that we all came here for, and that's to introduce our guest. Tonight, we have somebody who embodies exactly what People Helping People is all about. She reached out to me on one of the streams, and during that podcast, it was towards the tail end of the podcast, and I just barely caught the comment. And I read through it real quick, and I was blown away by what the information that she was bringing me and what she was involved in. And I said, you know what? I got to have a conversation with this person. So I picked up the phone, and I didn't know what this conversation was going to lead into. And within 5 minutes of talking with her, I was like, you know what? Let's just cut the fat. Let's get you on the show. She is a fellow type 1 Diabadass, as she calls it. I love that. So she's got a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of wisdom. And I'm really excited to have her on the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Cardenas. Welcome in.
Thanks. Do I owe you money for that intro? Like, that was nice.
Thank you. No. We're happy to have you here, though. So like I was telling the people, we had a brief conversation over the phone, and you were just inspiring me left and right with everything that you've got going on in your life and how you're utilizing your tools to give back. And so I really want to uncover all of that. I want to get to know you as a person and see the different things that you're embarking on. But for the people that don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Amanda Cardenas. I am born and raised here in Phoenix, Arizona. A little bit about me. See, now I feel put on the spot, even though I should have been prepared for this.
No, you're good.
Love the color green. I've got a weird saying. I'm obsessed with plants and crystals. Like, these are, digging you deeper into who I am as a person, I guess, even though that's not a personality. I am just someone who, I'm shameless. I saw your live podcast, and honestly, I was like, I don't know what this is about. I tuned in at the very end, and it was you and your friend talking about being type 1. And I was like, as fast as possible, because you were ending the live, and I was like, you need to know about all these things. And then you reached out, and here we are. So do you want me to kind of we could go any which way here as far as what I should share.
Yeah, no, thank you for the introduction, and we'll give you one of these. Thanks so much. I gotta okay, there we go. I had to clean my glasses.
It's okay. We match now. So it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I'm getting older and things are getting fuzzier, but I'm looking better as the more blind I get, the better I look. So it's a great problem to have, right?
I'm sure
Um,
your girlfriend agrees. Yeah.
yeah. Well, her vision's great, so who knows? But yeah, welcome into the show. And you said, you tuned into the tail end of the conversation that I was having with David Castillo, and shout out to David Castillo. He shared a lot of information about being a type 1 diabetic and how hard it can be to connect with other type 1 diabetics. And it was actually the first time that I've sat down and had a lengthy conversation with another diabetic since diagnosed. So it was like a very fulfilling thing to have happen. And I'm so glad that you reached out because you have a lot of interweb connection to all things type 1. And I would like for you to kind of walk me through a little bit some of the things and journeys that you're embarking on and helping out with, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was diagnosed with type 1 wonderful diabetes, which I'll get into how my perspective has shifted into calling it that. Because again, it has to do with the community. So for me, I was 7, I was diagnosed, and obviously, like you don't know any better except your world is ending kind of thing. And around that time when I was diagnosed, I was at Phoenix Children's Hospital, where most all type 1s are diagnosed nowadays in Arizona. And they were talking to us about how my life is different and talking about the cost of insulin and all these things that my parents are now like, okay, well, nothing's going to be the same ever again. So while they were telling them about how much money it was going to cost for me to maintain a healthy life, they also were like, by the way, there's this camp that it's a summer camp. It's week long up in Prescott for kids who happen to all be type 1 diabetic. And obviously that sounds like an amazing experience, but my parents are, wanting to give me that opportunity, but they're also like, well, we've got bills, we've got that. Like, there's just everything that comes along with it, which is not just the lifestyle change, but financial aspect. And so my parents were really upset because the cost to go to camp, I mean, it's not small. Like when I say back in the day, that was like 24 years ago when this happened, it was still around $1,000 for the week. And so it was one of those where my dad, he's a networker by nature. Like, he will talk to anybody, which again, I'm trying to figure out where I got my own personality from. But he was talking to this woman one day right after my diagnosis, and she asked what was going on. He told her about this opportunity to go to camp, but the problem was the finances. And I still to this day have no idea who this woman is. My family doesn't even know who she is. She wrote my dad a check to send me straight to camp. And It was one of those where like nor myself nor anyone in my family knew the impact it was going to have on my life. Because obviously when you're diagnosed, like, you're told all the things you can't do anymore, which is pretty friggin' defeating, honestly. Like, they're even telling you there's carbs in ranch. Like, you're afraid to eat ranch now. Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But so I got to go to this camp, and I'm not the only person who has to like go to the nurse to take a shot, or I'm the only one counting carbs or can't participate because my blood sugar is low. I was surrounded by 8 girls in my cabin who all happen to have the same diabetes diagnosis, as well as the staff there is too. And so what I learned going to this camp was they're not there to show you the things you can't do. They're actually here to show you all the things that you can do and better.
I love that.
I love
beautiful.
these little like soundboard things you have. This is great. Can I just like have you follow me everywhere?
Yeah, everybody needs a clap track, right?
I know. I appreciate that. So yeah, it's like you're being told all these things. Your life is going to never be the same, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, the camp medical director, who's a doctor, is type 1 diabetic. And he's super healthy and happy. We have fire chiefs here. We have nurses. Like, we have people from every single walk of life that are showing you all the things that you can do. And from there, I've connected and built such lifelong relationships with people. I mean, I have people I've known since I was 7 that were at my wedding. Wow. Like, it's phenomenal. And so once I got out of camp, in a sense of being not old enough to be a camper anymore, because do you want to know a little bit about like the camp setup and the dynamic of that? Or
I would love to. Yeah. And I would also like to touch on the fact that, you know, having a space where they're showing what you are capable of is huge. And to have the camp counselors not only be the people that are fit and living their life to the fullest, but guiding people and showing them that the reality is you can be you can be a superhero and have type 1 diabetes. It doesn't have to be a debilitating disease. It doesn't have to be something you hide. So I'm sure for a 7-year-old, that is such a pivotal thing to have introduced into your life and realize, okay, for one, I'm not alone, but two, I can look at these counselors as role models and understand that I can aspire to be like somebody like that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a literal life changer. And I think that's like my favorite part about the camp. It's not the activity. Like, granted, it's a phenomenal summer camp. I mean, it's just like any other camp you would ever go to. It's just there's a couple extra steps and a lot more monitoring as far as like blood sugar levels go and whatnot. But we're not there to like teach you like how diabetes works. Like, we don't need that. Like, people will come to you. I remember when I was first diagnosed and my friend was like, oh, like my grandpa lost a leg because of that. Or, oh, my cat's diabetic. And it's like, you're not helping at all.
Yeah. I've definitely had those horror stories before. If you don't mind, I'm going to interject real quick because I remember specifically, I had just been diagnosed. And, you know, I went and sat down. I don't drink, but I went and I sat down at a bar and I had a glass of water. I was traveling solo. And there's this old guy next to me. He had an eye patch on and he had a couple of fingers missing. And, you know, we're just chatting it up. And I was like, you know, I have to ask, you know, what, you're rocking the pirate look. What happened? He's like, oh, I'm a diabetic. And I just got diagnosed like a couple of years ago. And I'm like, oh,
you're
God.
Like with the bad kind?
Yeah. Yeah. So I know that all too well, the scare tactics or the scare factor of just hearing these stories. And oh, man. But continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's because like all people know is the bad stuff. Like I could literally buy a house if I had $1 every time someone's like, is that the bad kind? Can you eat that? Like, you know, just stuff like that, which again, at the end of the day, like, you can't be mad about it because people only know what they're told. And so I think for me too, why I have so much passion in the community and everything, it's like, it doesn't need to be a secret. Like, you can come up to me and ask anything. Like, literally, like so all of my pump sites and everything, I always use like colorful, like duct tape and stuff like that. So it doesn't look like a medical device. It looks like a conversation starter.
I love that.
So, but it's true. Like, it's just one of those where it's like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Cause at the end of the day, like, yes, you'll probably find some of the type 1s who are super upset by it. They don't want to talk about it. Like, that is common. But with people who have a community and they have like resources and just people you can like vent to that get it, like, that changes everything. And you know what I mean? Because what's crazy to me is you were diagnosed at, you said 28 on our call.
28 years old. Yeah.
Dude.
Talk about a midlife crisis.
Like, that to me, and no offense, but that to me sounds worse than being diagnosed as a kid, because it's like, this is all I know. And for you had to unlearn everything.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. And I don't know, like you said, like, is that worse or better? I'm not sure. But
emotionally, maturity wise, like, it's a lot easier to handle in a sense as an adult, of course. And then the thing that sucks is, oh no, I'm not on my parents' insurance anymore and I got to pay for this. Like, so I got to ride that wave until I was 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And as you said, it's not cheap. in general.
No,
It's just so
it's
expensive.
not.
Yeah.
And thank goodness for good insurance if you can get it,
Yeah.
because that's a blessing in itself. But we
Really.
could go on for days about the cost of medication and all these things, what people deem as luxury items versus necessary care. Like, anyway, I can go on a tangent.
Yeah,
And I'm
I'd
going
be
to
right
wash
there
my
with
feet.
you. Yeah, I'd be right there with you. But I really want to dive into this camp because I think that, and you said we, so we as in you are a part of the camp now, or what is your role within the camp?
So for me, when I started volunteering at the camp, I was 17 years old and they hired me on as a DC, which is known as a diabetic counselor. So that was when oh my gosh, that was when I was 17. This will be my 14th year volunteering for Camp ASDA. So I kind of moved my way up. I wanted to be more and more involved. So I started getting on the committees. So pretty much like me and a group of like 15 other people are literally planning this week for the entire year. And what I was focusing on was fundraising for the camp. So that way we can ensure it happened. Thankfully, the ADA, or the American Diabetes Association, that, you know, they've put it on every year, which is phenomenal. And that, you know, the money always comes, which is great. So my focus was fundraising for a long time. And then this year I became their director of community outreach or something. Because again, they know if I have a platform or a person to talk to, I will tell them about it who don't ask me. So that's what I've been doing. Now my role there, so we have a couple different tiers of like camp. So we have the diabetic counselors who the last couple of years, we have 2 DCs per cabin and you get about 8 kids. You get them for the whole week. We have medical staff as well. We have nutrition staff. So they're dietitians. We also, I mean, again, I'm sure you know better than anyone, you don't just get diabetes. Sometimes you get celiac disease. You have all these other health concerns that kind of trickle through with the diagnosis. I mean, it takes a couple years, but because I saw your podcast about diabetes and Crohn's, was it?
Yes.
Or something like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That sounds pretty shitty.
Yeah. I don't know which of these buttons is the laugh track, but oh no, that's not it. Hold on.
That works. That works.
Oh, that's not it either. Okay.
It's okay. You're learning. We're learning.
Yeah, exactly. We're learning together. But I wanted to dive into the nutrition aspect of things. So you being a camp counselor, which is really cool, or diabetic counselor. Or wait, hold on. What did you call it again? I'm sorry.
DC, diabetic counselors.
Okay, it is a diabetic counselor. Very cool. So you're a diabetic counselor, and oh man, we're getting some great comments out there. I love that. We got the haters out there, and but anyway,
we got some haters. Hi.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Well, yeah, we'll see you later. Smoking, anyways. But yeah, so
fun.
Yeah, right. But so as a diabetic counselor, you guys have a specific diet for these kids, or do they eat just normal diets and just make sure to use their bolus? And
Yep, it is camp food. We're not there to do restrictions or regulate outside of the severe food allergies that we have. But good news is we have nutrition staff. They're phenomenal and they have everything way ahead of time. They work with the kitchen at Friendly Pines Camp. So that way they make sure there's no like food contamination, crossovers. Cause again, like it's a serious condition. Like especially if you're celiac, like if you get a piece of gluten near your food, like it's a done deal. So we're very cognizant of people's dietary restrictions. Like, for example, I'm lactose intolerant. Is it going to kill me? No, it's just unfortunate for everyone I share a cabin with. So that was horrible. But yeah, so we have those people, we have med staff, we have rovers, which is actually what my role is at the camp. So what a rover is it's someone who's been at the camp long enough to where they have now moved themselves up in position to where we are now becoming mentors for the diabetic counselors. So we're also working 24/7, and by law, we have to give people minimum 1 hour break. So the rovers are also going in and giving the diabetic counselors like an hour or two off so they can rest, because camp is one of those places where we're lucky if we get like 5 hours of sleep, and I'm being super gracious with that number. But it's a lot. Like we're constantly on, like med staff are always monitoring blood sugars. 98% of our our campers are all on either a Dexcom or a Libre. So we actually have this really cool platform in what we call MASH, which is our medical area for the camp, where people do their site changes or if they're sick or they need help with anything. But we have an entire monitor screen of every single person's blood sugar, so we can see where people are trending. Oh, and we can get ahead of that. Yeah, it's really high tech and it's way above my pay grade. But
I love that though. I mean, so essentially, if parents were to put their kids into this camp, they can rest assured that they're in good hands, because not only is all the staff diabetics as well, but everybody around there is too. And they're constantly monitored. So they're, like you said, like there's really no time off when the kids aren't monitored. But I want to dive in too about like the camp itself. So tell me the dates of the camp, when it starts, when it ends. Can you still, is it full? Is there room for more people? Kind of walk me through that a little.
So Camp ASDA, actually, when it came to our camper wait list, we actually hit capacity, I think, within a couple weeks of going live, of it being available. Like this is a camp where like it's people return. Like we have so many return campers. We have so many returning staff. I mean, it's incredible. I remember what you asked me and then it completely slipped. Camp. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's okay. When does it start?
Got it.
Yeah.
So I leave. So all the staff actually gets up there this Saturday. So we all get up there on the 12th to get the camp ready. We finish doing all the training and setup for the next day when the campers arrive. So Sunday the 13th. That night before too, we do naming as well. So that can be something we get into a little bit, where all of the staff, no one knows us by our legal name or the government name. We are gifted a name that actually turns us into the best version of ourselves for camp.
Wow, that's cool.
If you want to know mine, you can. I'm just going to out myself on live, and kids might find out. But
what's the camp name?
My camp name is Tasty Face. I even have like my name tag here ready for like proof.
That's fun.
Like nice. I didn't choose it, by the way.
No,
like
I love it. I love it. So yeah, you guys have like a ceremonial naming of everyone. And yeah, so camp is already full. That's amazing. And are you guys pushing for next year already? Like what is the, so if people are interested in something like this, what does the sign up process look like? And again, are you looking for people next year already?
So as far as campers go, I mean, we're always getting hit. Like we are doing our best to avoid being on a wait list, because every kid deserves to go to camp. It's just sometimes it's like it books so quickly. Staff wise though, we are always looking. We're always especially in need of medical staff. So if anybody on here is available from the 12th to the 19th, let me know.
Nice.
Looking for nurses, doctors, EMTs, paramedics, people who are legally allowed to break skin and dose with insulin. So that is something we're absolutely always looking for. So again, we even still have 1 or 2 slots available if you wanted to come up as a medical staff. Granted, we have everyone we need, but it's always good to have additional people as backup. It is a volunteer basis, so just also be aware. The cool thing is I know a lot of like hospitals or fire stations, they'll sponsor their staff to like go do this for the week, because they're getting more knowledge and exposure to type 1 diabetes care. Because again, so like role wise, as far as like what a DC does is, we're all personally diabetic. We know the signs to look out for. I would say about 70% of our med staff are also type 1. But the rest, I mean, it's just people who have a passion to help and want to have a week up in summer camp and hang out with the coolest kids ever.
I love that. I love that. Great. And I hope that I get to be a part of that in one way or another. Because of my late diagnosis, I feel as though I have a different perspective than most, because typically it's passed down, it's hereditary. So, like yourself, do you have family that's diabetic as well?
Nope, I'm the
Wow,
special one.
really? You're the only one with the superpower. I see.
Yeah. Who wants to share that? I mean,
Yeah,
come
right.
on.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to look at it like that. It's like I get to be very in tune with my body, and I'm lucky to be here. And
Mhm.
David Castillo, we see you out there. Thanks for joining us. We were actually just talking about you earlier. She tuned into our podcast and inspired her to reach out and want to share. So this one's out. This one's for you, brother. Well, that's beautiful. And I really, again, I hope that I get to be a part of that in one way or another. And I want to bring my audience into the realm of everything that is Camp ASDA. Did I say that correct?
You did,
Okay,
yeah.
great. Yeah.
It stands for Arizona Diabetes Association. Yeah, it's all good.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I think that that's great because, again, it's really tough being a diabetic in the world. And I feel like it is a very lonely feeling. And a lot of parents are, they're having children that are diagnosed and not knowing how to go about taking care of their kids. And man, I mean, it doesn't matter how much literature you read, it's really trial by fire. And, if a kid is fortunate enough to have family that is a diabetic, that's great, but that's not always the case. Now, is it a good place for parents to meet as well, or are they dropping off the kids to go? Talk to me a little about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one, I will say, like, camp is a great place to start as far as like getting to interact and meet other families who have kids with type 1 diabetes,
Mm.
which actually could bring us into the next segment as far as like the other nonprofit that was created outside of what camp has done for people.
Mhm.
Because I think what we've noticed is like we have that week-long experience and like kids stay in touch and then kind of falls off. But also, I think people forget the impact that having someone in your family diagnosed also impacts you.
Mm.
And some people don't know how to talk about it, or they don't know anybody.
Mhm.
So what some really great friends of mine who, again, I've grown up with, like this woman I'm about to talk about, she was one of my very first camp counselors. Her name is Farva at camp. And also there's Peanut and all these other people. They're phenomenal, which
Shout
again,
out Farva and Peanut.
yeah, shout
Mhm.
out. So they actually, because of what camp's done for that 1 week, we've all figured that we need to extend this community year round.
Mm.
So Farva ended up creating what is called the Diabetes Network of Arizona about like a year and a half ago or so. And it's just like, I don't think any of us were expecting how much of a demand there was, but by creating this nonprofit, we've really opened up opportunities to create in-person events for kids that are type 1, for teens, adults. So we'll have like, happy hours over at our friend Scrappy's bar. He actually owns the Hudson. So we love to do events over there and support him in Tempe. So shout out to Scrappy and the
Shout out
Hudson.
Scrappy. I
Again,
love
this
that.
isn't a paid promotion, but
No, we shout out the people that deserve to be shouted out. That's what it's all about.
absolutely. So again, yes, you can drink as a type 1. You just gotta bolus and be cognizant and just enjoy yourself and drink water. But yeah, so we'll do that. And then we also have family meetups where families all get together, their kids get together. It's great. We actually just did our first family weekend camp earlier this year in March. At Friendly Pines Camp, which is in Prescott, the same location we've done ASDA at for the last 30 plus years. And so we had a wildly successful family camp. I mean, what was really cool is I got to bring my husband with me as a camp counselor. So that was really cool. Shout out. Love you, babe.
Shout out to the husband. We see you
Again,
out
I'm
there.
just shouting
Yeah.
people out. But it was phenomenal. Like we didn't know what to expect. It was also snowing, which is weird because I'm from Phoenix and I'm like, what is this? But it was so beautiful to like see the families interact, see the kids get to know each other. I mean, and it was like all age ranges. It was like cousins bringing best friends, bringing uncles and parents. Like it was just so beautiful to see the connection people were having and getting to like, I don't like the word commiserate, but at the end of the day, like I'm not going to sugarcoat anything because who needs the insulin for that? But
He's a pro.
sorry, I could go all day. It's so bad.
I love it.
But it's been really cool to be able to create that platform to connect people. Cause again, it's a good way to just get to talk and like not hold back or pretend like everything's okay. Cause again, like I'm sure even being diagnosed at 28, you've experienced burnout, like diabetic burnout is a real thing.
Yeah.
There was a reason why I did this on my laptop. I was telling you, like, I was worried my Omnipod or my Dexcom was going to go off and shut the live feed. Like, these are just things that you have to be aware of. But it's phenomenal. So they've not only created meetups, but from DNA or Diabetes Network of Arizona, they've been creating insulin programs where if people are in need and they're short on insulin, we've got a fridge stacked. So if anybody, like no one should go without insulin, like ever, like that is a right. So we do have that available for people who are in need. So definitely want to continue that and be able to help provide like supply resources or even discount codes for medication. They're also getting into school systems where they're educating teachers and nurses on how to manage kids with type 1 diabetes. And yes, they can be on their phone to check their blood sugar. The advocacy for that, they're also getting involved with DCS and helping foster families learn how to make sure these type 1 kids are safe, because not a lot of people know that. And there's so much more that they're doing, which is phenomenal. And like, I have so much love for these people because all of them came from Camp ASDA. So the love for camp, and what we call Bedic love, like it comes directly from ASDA wanting to spread that year round, and not just to the kids who go to camp, but the ones who should know about it. Even adults like yourself, we'd love you to be a DC next year if you're interested.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that. That would be so great.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for sharing that. There's so much amazing information that you just shared with us. And I believe that each one of those little segments in the places that people are trying to help, somebody's light bulbs went off like, oh my God, there's a place where you can actually get insulin supplies. There's meetups where I can meet other type 1 diabetics. But before we even continue, I want to know where people can find this camp, and I want to know where people can find the nonprofit as well.
Absolutely. Oh, I've got some
you
of my
got some love out there.
DCs. So actually, real quick shout out. So Bailey Peralt on here, she is the most phenomenal fundraiser ever. She is shameless, which I'll get into that in a second, because that'll be my next little surprise drop of what we're doing. And also Type 1 Fun. Big shout out to her. So she's actually one of our head dietitians for Camp ASDA. She moved her way up this year. She also is hosting some podcasts for herself, and she's got a lot of like amazing content for like, you can do this and be diabetic and still be fine, or here's the ugly side, let's not sugarcoat. So shout out to her. And then Brenna, it's another one of my DCs.
Yeah,
love you guys.
She knows. Love you, tasty face, she says. I love that.
See, I'm outed. I did it myself, but
yeah. And I want to say too, if anybody wants to be involved in the show, I mean, what the show is about is in the name, right? This is people helping people. And if you have some love, some wisdom, typically we have on business owners, musicians, and artists, but there's also people out there advocating for the community. And all these things wrap together. Like I said earlier, like I'm wearing a shirt of a buddy of mine. Give yourself grace. And I'm just shouting him out in the beginning of the show. Go to Penny and Benny LLC if you want to get merchandise. And that's what it's all about. So as we continue to grow, we want to go ahead and get you intertwined in our web of amazing human beings and get your message out to the world, because I know that everybody has a story and everybody deserves to be heard. And so if you're out there and you're listening, you want to be involved, you can go to, hold on, let me put up the banner real quick. You can go to Instagram.com/people helping people live. And we're actually live over there as well, but you're not going to be able to hear Amanda speak on there. This is more behind the scenes. But yeah, right down below here, Instagram.com/people helping people live, and just shoot me a DM. I'm doing my best to go through everything because we've had a lot of reach out since we started this show. It's been overwhelming. I'm so grateful. But yeah, if you want to be where Amanda's at here and spreading the good word and doing some good in the world and yeah, come on to the show and be a part of the community, just go ahead and shoot me a DM. But yeah, let's get back into, you know what? Let's give him one of those. That's to everybody that's joining us. We really appreciate you guys. Well, that's amazing. And I remember when we were talking, you had these comments are cracking me up. Type one,
I may
type
or may
two.
not have told a lot of people this was happening today.
No, this is great. I mean, like I said, this is what it's all about. And so I do want to show some love to the people that are commenting here. Boogs420OZ. That's such a funny name. I see you out there, brother. He's been joining us and we appreciate you being here. He says, "You're doing great work, guys. Loving this podcast." Thank you. Thank you. You're doing great work by joining us, man. Like, this is what it's all about. And adding something into the chat. You know, if you guys have questions for me, if you have questions for Amanda, we want to take the time to read your questions and acknowledge that we see you here. Type one, type fun. That's what a great name. Alexander, you gotta come to camp, she says. You know what? We might be working on something. We'll see. We'll see. Blake Stevens says, "Yay, tasty." You got people out there. They loving on you. Shout out.
Love.
Yeah, right. Shout out Blake Stevens. David Castillo. That's my brother, Alex Daniel Perez. Oh, cool. Nice. So yeah, we got families up in here. This is great. But again, I want to appreciate you being on the show, Amanda, and kind of get back into everything that you got going on, because in that conversation that we had over the phone, everything that you're involved in right now is what I wanted to build out. And I think that almost all diabetics have this feeling of needing to be of service because they know what they go through on a day-to-day basis. And some of us, like myself, and I'm feeling less that way now thanks to you and to David, but have been alone the entire time. And you can't explain, like, it's so hard to be able to just talk about what's going on. And like David and I had a discussion about feeling weak as a man when you're having lows in situations, in social situations, and giving yourself the grace to be able to tell people, hey, listen, I'm a diabetic. I got to go chill for a sec, but being vocal about it. Give me 15 to 20 minutes while I replenish. It's going to be a minute. I'll be back. Don't worry. But giving yourself permission and the people around you permission to know. And that's a really important thing. So again, I appreciate you coming on here because I feel less alone having these conversations and knowing what you've put together for or just being involved in these things is really beautiful. And again, I want to thank you for being on. And but there's more to talk about because you've intertwined not only the camp and the nonprofit and spreading the word of these things to anybody and everybody. I mean, for you to jump on the stream and leave a comment and not even a week later, here we are, right? Mm-hmm. So I would like to, kind of give you the floor and have you talk to me a little bit about how you've integrated this whole ecosystem into your business and what you're doing to give back.
Yeah, so thank you for bringing that up, actually. So I am a full-time licensed realtor here in Arizona. So I specialize in, thank you. People
go get a house with Amanda.
They want to live in.
Yeah.
Not just that. So I'm a full-time real estate agent and my husband's actually a mortgage broker. So shout out for anyone who needs a refi or look to see what they can qualify for. He also contributes to what I'm about to share with my platform, with my business. So for me, the reason why I shared that experience of me getting sponsored to go to camp is this woman, instilled something within me that, again, she has no idea the impact she made just by something so little, which I think is silly to say money is a little thing, but to some people, it's the biggest reason why they don't go out and do the things that they want or accomplish the things that they're looking for. And I've always wanted to find a way to be that person to gift that experience. And so I've talked about it for a long time. I just never really knew how or what to do. Now, I did fundraising for the Camp ASDA, which is great. That's easy to ask for money from people, that it's not for yourself. But I was like, I feel like I can make more impact in other ways. And so what I started doing was and I need to get better about being more shameless, though that's kind of just my MO at this point. But what I started doing was any and all referrals that I received out of the Diabetes Network of Arizona, Camp ASDA, anyone mentions the word diabetes, like I am earmarking any successful closing I have, and I'm setting money aside to directly be able to gift that money to send these kids to camp. And I'm really excited that this was actually the first year that my husband and we were able to fully sponsor a kid to go to ASDA.
Wow. There's your clap track. You deserve it. That's beautiful. Full circle moment. I love it.
It was honestly like, it almost sounds selfish because of what it does for me to see what it does for others. And but really at the end of the day, I'm just trying to gift that back to people because I think the best part of, people giving the gift is to give, and being able to see the recipient and how much that impacts them. It's just such a beautiful thing. And it's just money. You know what I mean? Yeah. It shouldn't be the reason why you don't have a life-changing experience. So the shout out for anybody who's looking to buy or sell, let me know. I'm phenomenal at what I do. I let other people say that as well. Yes. But yeah, I've actually this year alone helped 2 people from my camp help purchase properties, which is great. And that also helped me put into that fund to be able to sponsor that camper. So I'm so grateful, and I don't want to stop. I want to find ways to continue to build that fund, because my goal, so I called it the Type Wonderful Fund. So my goal is not only to be able to sponsor these kids, but again, due to the financial aspect of what it costs to put it on and send these kids there, it's not just the cost for them to go to camp, but the cost for all the supplies for them to be able to go, all the camping stuff and whatnot. So my goal one day is to not only be able to sponsor kids, but then also be able to purchase their entire needs list for that camp, and also have it be themed with the camp theme that year. So that way they don't have to worry about anything. They show up, everything's there for them. That is my goal.
Amazing.
Oh my God. It's I don't think I have an ego, but
no, that is beautiful. And I think it's okay to, I'm not very good at accepting compliments and things like that, but I want to give you your flowers, because what you're doing for the community, and like I said, you're helping me to not feel alone in the world, just having this conversation, knowing that these things are out there. And the fact that you have fully integrated this into your business to give back to people and give back to the kids because of the experience that you had and how it changed your life, and how you have these lifelong friends because of, and it's family at this point, right? So you have this extended family now because of this camp that you went to, and now you're advocating for the same for others. And there's just an amazing ripple effect that a lot of people, I'm sure that the person that gave you guys the money to get you into that camp didn't realize that 20 years later, or however
24,
long, 24 years later, you would be out here advocating for something so amazing. So, that's, again, I want to, yeah, exactly. I'm reading the comments here.
I want whatever flowers Boobs 420's got going on over here. I would much rather be that kind of high than my blood sugar. So.
Yeah.
You're I'm going to cut that out, by the way.
I was going to say, no, I'm sure you have so many good puns after spending all this time with all these diabuddies around you.
It's a problem.
No, it's great. I'm sitting here learning. I'm just
speaking of puns, I just have to show you this. I even created a whole why choose a type 1 realtor in real estate, and it talks about I never miss a shot in the market. I always got good snacks. I can handle the highs and lows. I even have, know how to deal with pricky situations. Like, it's so lame, but it's like, I love it because it's different, and it kind of sets me apart and makes people be like, oh wait, I can enjoy my life and make fun and have fun with what I've got. Like, that's just who I am. And I don't care.
That's amazing. And you got to have a little fun. And, for me, like, this is the most fun, getting to know people like yourself who are putting themselves in those positions to be able to make fun of yourself, really. And it gives other people watching permission. And that's what's so great about it. And I am so vocal about being a diabetic. I have no issue with that at all. It doesn't make me any more, I'm alone, right? And that's okay. I'm becoming less alone as we continue to grow. But where was I going with that? Let's see. Hold on.
Okay. Did you check your sugars? Where are you at right now?
Yeah, that's a good question, honestly.
How cool would it be if we were matching right now?
Yeah, where are you at?
173.
173.
I'm only showing because it's below 200.
238.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, public speaking sometimes raises my blood sugar. Like, fun fact for any of you watching, every single body's different, and things affect you in different ways than it would your friend next to you with diabetes. Like, public speaking shoots my blood sugar up. Black coffee goes up. Like, random things. It's so random. But besides that point, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's totally true. And I noticed, I still get the jitters before this show. And that's how I know I'm doing something right. Like, I
saw the deep breathing, and I enjoyed that process.
I have to, because this to me is like, this gives me so much purpose. Like, I want to deliver something special every single time I come on the air. And it's so stinking important to me that I give some kind of value with the little period of time that I have with my people. And yeah, there's stress with that. There's the burden of wanting to, just have my sentences flow, which they're not right now. And that's totally fine too. And I want people to know that it's okay to just stumble over your words and trip up and be a human being. Like, let me just peel back the curtains and show you guys what it's like to learn something new with an audience. And so people have been watching me succeed and fail over and over. And it's been a beautiful experience. And we as diabetics go through that a lot.
Well, and like we talked about on our phone call a couple days ago, like, vulnerability is actually a superpower. And I think people are so afraid to be vulnerable, thinking you're weak, but actually by being vulnerable on a platform in front of other people allows others to realize there is strength in vulnerability, because you are helping lift up other people by admitting something is not easy or scary or nerve-wracking. Like, it's okay to be human, like you said, and just people helping people. And like, that's the whole point of this entire thing you've created, which I think is phenomenal, because again, like, the energy you had on the first podcast I jumped on with you and your friend David, like, it was great. And I even jumped on at the very end. Like, yes, I went back and watched it, but still. And I'm super grateful about this. Like, this is so fun. And this is what's so important about building a community, because like, people just don't know what they don't know. And that's why I'm really excited to be here to talk about the Diabetes Network of Arizona, talking about Camp ASDA, talking about me and my business and what I do, because I love people. And the cool thing is, like, when you do what you love and you get to help someone and you get to like dot connect and problem solve, and then you get paid, you're like, what? Like, this is so cool, and I want to share that. And I want to share the abundance, and I want people to feel connected and not feel alone. Cause again, it's easy to, go in a corner, woe is me, have your burnout, whatever. But like, it's also nice to be able to talk to people about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I just want to be able to give you the platform to show the people who you are, promote your business, because I feel like good people who are doing good things with their businesses deserve a platform. And so I'm really happy to have you here, and you get to express who you are to the world. And the world, I mean, you have people already in here that are showing love.
They're actually, I love people are putting their blood sugars in. Drop your sugars, guys.
Yeah, drop your sugars.
Put them in.
David Castillo's out there at 155. You're doing good, brother. If I'm You know, what's a high blood sugar for you, Amanda? I
Well,
mean,
when I
like,
was
what do you
first
consider?
diagnosed, I
Well,
mean, if
yeah.
we're getting vulnerable and honest here, when I first was diagnosed, I was of the mindset if I didn't believe it was real, it wasn't.
Mm,
And I mean, I'm 7 years old, pretending to take shots, doing whatever. I want people to get off my back. I mean, I was like, I felt low below 250 for a long time.
wow.
Like, and for those who are watching, what's considered a normal range, and I do air quotes because endocrinologists will tell you what's normal all the time, but it's not what's normal for everybody.
Mhm.
The goal range is to be anywhere between like 75 and 140, whatever. But like, not everybody is like that. And so when you range a certain frame as far as like your blood sugars go, like if you're ranging high, like I was when I was first diagnosed, like I felt low at a very high range.
Mm.
And now, thanks to modern technology and good insurance, which I'm grateful for, again, shout out husband, with having an insulin pump and a glucose monitor, my blood sugars are now ranging between like 80 to 140. Like it's
Wow.
so cool. But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're a good but diabetic or a bad diabetic. It's just you are human and you're figuring your body out, whereas everyone else just gets to go on autopilot and be like,
Yes.
I could never. And it's like you
Yes.
wouldn't have a choice if you weren't given one.
Yeah. And it was the same for me. Like when I first started, it wasn't kind of an out of sight, out of mind thing, but I had no freaking clue. Once you get out of the hospital, they're like,
Good
here's
luck.
here's your needles. Go have fun. And it's like, what do I do? How do I go about doing this? And I'm doing all the research I can. And like we touched on earlier, I was diagnosed with Crohn's on the same day. So it was like this whole thing. Everything that's good for Crohn's is bad for diabetes, and
Double whammy.
double whammy. So we got it all under control now to a degree, neither of which are ever going to be gone forever. But I just recently switched over from the Tandem T Slim X2 over to the iLet Bionic Pancreas.
Huh.
And it has been an absolute game changer. The only three things that you input are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you say usual for me, less than, or more. And it does everything else.
That concept freaks me out, but I also can appreciate being able to unplug that way. It's just like you don't remember phone numbers because it's already saved in your cell phone, but
Mhm.
then it's just autonomous. And I'm like, what if I don't eat this normally and I don't?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely was a big change. And when I first switched over to it, I was having so many lows all the time because it was overcorrecting and it's trying to figure out my body weight versus how much I'm eating. And there's algorithms within the iLet that are just, like you said, it's hands off the wheel and just pray, really.
Hmm?
But it's been an interesting journey, and I'm really excited to be a part of whatever it is you've got going on. Prior to starting my car rental agency and this, I owned a production company called Type 1 Production. So I learned videography. I, produced music pretty much my whole life, and photography, and I traveled around the world shooting commercials for companies. And the goal for Type 1 Production is to get involved or start exactly what you're already involved in. So you have really gave me access to just jump over the wall versus building it myself, and that's beautiful. And I appreciate that.
Hey man, add your bricks to it. We're just going
Yeah.
to keep adding up and building up. Like that's
Yes.
the goal.
Yes. So I am here to help support in any which way I can. And I want to make sure too, before we jump off here, because we're already at an hour. I mean, I feel like we
Oh
could
my
talk all
gosh.
night. Yeah.
Whoops.
No whoops at all. But
Can I make an announcement?
I was going to say, is there anything else you would like to
There
leave?
is. So I've got one more shout out, and then we can obviously do our thing. So just like I'm inspired to do what I do through my business and to sponsor kids to camp, I have a wonderful friend. Her name is Lauren West. She was actually one of my diabetic counselors as well. Shout out. And she was also sponsored as a kid to go to camp, and she was trying to find ways to raise money. started off inviting friends over to like they'd go in their garage, they'd play like poker and stuff, and all the money they were playing with, they actually used that to sponsor a kid to go to camp. And it started like 8 years ago or something in her garage, then moved inside, then moved to a small venue. Then it turned into just this massive event called Betting on a Cure. And it is a black tie casino themed event. And if I get in trouble for saying this out loud, I'm just going to ask for forgiveness and permission. But I'm so grateful to say that we are actually going to be relaunching Betting on a Cure this year, September 20th, out in Mesa.
Love that. There it is. The people are going crazy.
Yeah, I hear it. It's wild. But we will be putting out the official announcement, and we're partnering with Diabetes Network of Arizona as the host, pretty much. So everyone that's interested in going, I know, oh, Bailey's laughing because she's on the committee, and whoops, the planning committee. But shout out.
Cats out of the bag.
So it's a black tie casino themed event. All of the money that is raised, all the proceeds are going to actually sponsoring camp for next year. Diabetes Network of Arizona's got a lot of amazing things going on. It's going to be an incredible event. Hoping, I think capacity wise, we can get up to 300 people, and we've got a lofty fundraising goal because the goal is for no one to have to come out of pocket to go to camp next year. That is the goal.
Wow.
They might kill me for this, but people need to know we need donors, we need sponsors. Like we want to promote and build our community. So while we're not against working with big box companies or anything, we want to also promote and work and partner with local businesses here in Arizona. So
I love it.
You know,
yes, I was going to say, so how can people help you? Where do they need to go?
So we are finalizing our sponsorship packet right now. It's going to be in tiers based off what your company is looking for. But good news is Diabetes Network of Arizona is a 501c3 nonprofit. So for anybody looking for tax cuts or tax write-offs, shout out tax write-offs.
The beautiful loopholes of helping.
Yeah, so we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for people to also join us for a fun night. We're going to be doing some raffle items, possible auctioneering. We're also looking for like-kind donations. So if you know any amazing restaurant owners that want to serve some of their food there and get some public notice and get more people in their business, or if you know, I mean, really anyone, people who print t-shirts, people who own car rental companies for anyone coming in town, you know, we're looking for any and everything. And also, if you know anyone who owns a company that distills their own alcohol, that's also a great thing to add for an event for a
absolutely casino. Yeah, well, that is beautiful, and I want to give you another one of these because it deserves it. But I have a beautiful network, a beautiful web of individuals that I'm more than sure would be willing to donate and help in one way or another. And it looks like we have people in the chat right now. Boogs 420 OZ says, hell yeah, I would love to support. Awesome. Well, we will definitely be having you back on the show in the future to see once we get closer to all these things, maybe after camp or whenever. But the beauty of this is we're going to have people double back and check in and see how things are going. I'd like to do that once a month where I check in with all the guests that can make it on one day. And we do a quick 10-minute synopsis of what's going on in their life and what their goals are and what we can do to help support you as best we can. But we'll have a chat off air because, like I said, I have some artists and some other business owners in the area that I'm more than sure that would love to donate a piece of art or, you know, if people need cars, holla at your boy. I'm out here. But yeah, that's a beautiful thing. And I hope that, well, it looks as though everybody's as excited as I am to see this all come to fruition. And I want to know too, Amanda, you've done a great job. I want to say that first of all. You're doing fantastic. Yeah, and I knew when we talked on the phone for those 5 minutes, I was like, she's going to make for a phenomenal guest, and you have not disappointed. So you deserve your flowers there.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. But yeah, as we continue to move forward, you know, I just want to say that there are so many people in the world that are advocating for things like this. And if you know somebody who is in any which type of advocacy program for any ailments or whatever it may be, you know, maybe some sponsorship programs and things like that, reach out to us, because I want to sit down and have conversations with the people that are doing good in the world. And, you know, this has been an amazing show. And I'm just going to shout you out, Amanda. You are incredible. And I look forward to talking with you again. So let's go ahead and run through all the places that people can get in touch with you. And then we'll run through all the places that we're advocating for today.
Perfect. So as far as like social media reach out, my Instagram's Amanda in Phoenix. I have Facebook under Amanda N. Cardenas. So my name, that's right here. I do have a website, but to be honest, I am working with someone on actually building it out. So if you know anybody who's looking to do that,
I got you there too.
I got a website called it's amandacellsaz.com. I couldn't think of anything shorter for some reason, but working on building that out. It's like, you know, I like to believe that it's better to fly a plane and build it as you're going than waiting until it's perfectly done before you get off the air, you know? So it's how diabetes is too. So we're just figuring it out as we go. Yeah. Other places to look for. So Diabetes Network of Arizona, Instagram, Facebook, again, they're phenomenal. They have so many resources out there. Camp ASDA through the American Diabetes Association. I don't know if they have Facebook or anything, but, and you know, just outside of that, just shout out to every single person who's been volunteering, making these things happen. I wish I could say I created these things, but I am just so grateful and honored to be a part of this. And so it's everyone's in a sense. And so, yeah, it's just been phenomenal. And it's like really inspired me to continue to do things with heart and with intention, because like when you start doing it that way, everything else follows. So again, I love your energy. You've been so easy to talk to. And like, again, this has just been so much fun. And yeah, we'll be getting information out for Betting on a Cure. Hopefully I just triggered it to happen within the next day or so.
Yes. Yeah. We're putting the
but yeah, feel free to contact me. I don't know if I should put my phone number out here or not, but
that's totally up to you. I've had multiple guests do that.
Okay, well, you can find my direct contact on my Instagram, or you can call or text me at 602-214-9085.
There you go. Beautiful. So if you need a home, or you want to donate, or you want to get involved, so many different ways where you can reach Amanda. And again, Amanda, this has been an incredible conversation, and I'm really excited to see how this relationship blossoms over time. You let me know if you need help with anything at all, if you need support from my community, from myself. If I have people I can connect you with, I'm here to do so. And you did a great job. Thank you so much for being on the show.
You know what? You did good too. I think you should start doing this at least another 25 days in a row.
That's right. I didn't even tell people. We're on day 9 of 30 shows in 30 days. Thank you for reminding me.
You're so welcome.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for being a part of the show. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks, Alexander. Have a good night, everyone.
Wow. I'm going to keep that going. One more. There we go. Give her one of these. Gosh, you know, as I was diagnosed and I started type 1 production, that was to build out, again, everything that she has going in her ecosystem. Everything that is in service of people with diabetes, because again, I felt so alone. And I'm just so grateful for everybody that's come onto the show. I'm so grateful for all the support and love and everybody that's commenting. You guys are the ones that keep the show going. And I'm reading through your comments right now. And, you know, I just want you to know that I'm here to support you guys. And I thank you guys for being here to support us. It really, really is something special that we're building out here. And, you know, we want to get this show to a point where if we bring somebody on, we can change their life. And that starts with you guys being involved in these conversations and sharing out the streams and just really building out a community here. So I want to thank everyone that's out there and is a part of the People Helping People team. Few things before we go. If you'd like to advertise with People Helping People, you can shoot me a message on Instagram at People Helping People Live. That's Instagram.com/People Helping People Live. We have a couple slots left for advertisers, and we would love to showcase you and your business. So reach out to us and we can do so. And then also we have a merchandise giveaway that's coming up at the end of our 30 days of 30 live streams. So if you guys are interested in some merchandise, I think last time I pointed it the wrong direction. I think this is where my logo is, but it might be here because this is all reversed and flipped and backwards. So in any event, if you guys want a sweatshirt with the People Helping People logo without my face, we can do that. We have a logo with just 2 shaking hands, but a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and a hat that just say People Helping People. If you want one with my face, you can say that in the message. But anyways, in order to enter the giveaway, go to youtube.com/@People Helping People Live. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on notification bells, send a screenshot of that over to the Instagram at People Helping People Live. Tell me what size you are. If you're a small and a t-shirt, a medium, large, whatever it is, let me know. And at the end of 30 live shows in 30 days, we're going to go ahead and give away some stuff just to say thank you to everybody that's been involved in the journey. And we will continue to press on and bring as much love, wisdom, and knowledge and do what we do best. And that is people helping people. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. Y'all take care. Deuces. Yeah. What's everybody fighting for? Why can't people help people? That's the question.
Oh my God, people helping people.